computer. All right. LC in the building. Let me make sure I send out messages so we all can jump on and get ready. Make sure the Zoom link is there. So yeah, I was letting everybody know that in our call this morning, you literally just blazed it. It was full of gems, so much good information. I was sending notes to the wife, so I know we ready. She ready, I'm ready. We got to put this stuff into action. And
Yes.
So she's actually with the babies at the park, because normally they be down, but they're a little turned. So I was like, all right, babe, just take them to the park, take them to the park. So they're gonna be out the way. So I can absolutely give you the floor, let you do your thing. We're gonna give it a couple more minutes.
Of course, yeah.
Roll. And we always start too, similar. Everybody's wins. And we don't say losses, but we do say lessons.
Oh, I like that. That's different. I like that.
We got Big Bruce in the building. New skills, new you, brother Bruce.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's be.
We got Portia in the building. Hey, Portia, whenever you get that audio connected. Got Kanisha in the building. LC. We got two LCs. We got LC Body Fragrances that's ran and owned by Adrian, and we got our girl LC with Insensitivities in the building as well. What's going on, family? So we're gonna wait one more minute, and then we're gonna rock and roll with our W's and our L's, wins and lessons. And then we just gonna give Michelle the floor and let her do her. And this is Bruce's first call as well. So we gotta make sure we give a proper introduction to the main man, the big dog in the building, Mr. Bruce. Everybody should be following Bruce if you're not following Bruce, especially if you're an entrepreneur, business owner, you're looking for those sales skills, you're looking for somebody to hold you accountable, that's the right person for you. Absolutely. All right, 6:05, time to get cracking. I know we're gonna have some more people trickle in, but we wanna get started because time is of the essence. So you know how we start. We start with our wins and our lessons. Kia, you're the first person that I see on my screen at the top left. So I need to know what's that win for the week and what's the lesson for the week.
Hey, everybody. Please excuse my voice. My win for the week, Long Beach Pride was extremely successful. I have a couple of partnerships that may be brewing out of that with St. John's Medical Center, also with a couple of construction companies located in Pasadena. So that's pending. So that's my win for the week. Let's see, my lessons for the week. Probably I would say hopped on doing certain events without being thorough enough about the person who is producing the events. I did an event, I'd say about 2 weeks ago. And it seemed like it was from a reputable person, but snake oil salesperson, basically. It didn't go the way as planned, but a lot of money lost, but that was my lesson. And just moving forward, I'm let God take care of that.
All right, let go and let God. Okay.
Yep.
Miss Shanti, what's our win and what's our lesson? Shanti, are you there? Shanti. You see the picture? We'll let Shanti come back to us. Adrian from LC Body Fragrances, sponsor of the Black Business Brunch, in the building. What's our win this week and what's our lesson?
I'll say my win this week is I've had some pretty successful pop-up events in the last week. My sis Kanisha over there got me at the Folsom Flea Market 6 o'clock in the morning, and it was very successful. Although I was kicking and screaming along the way. And got a couple, working on our storefront, we got some good things in the works. So we got a few upcoming wins. I'm gonna say lessons would be to make sure you spend time with the people that you love
Mm.
before it's too late. So I just recently lost somebody. So
I'm sorry. So
yeah, so that's the lessons.
well, prayers to you. I mean, that's just about as real as it's gonna get. That's about as real as it's gonna get. Time is everything. There's no price tag on that. So absolutely, if you got somebody next to you, don't hesitate to call. Love on the person next to you. Love on everybody. I'm always big on putting that positive energy out there, and I try to keep it that way. So, Adrian, I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm not gonna ask for details or anything like that, but you know we love you on this end. You know, whatever you need, hit us up. We send you our prayers. And that should be something for everybody. I know we always have a homework assignment or we always have a to-do after our calls. This week will be absolutely love on somebody. Let's do that. Kanisha, what's your win? What's your lesson?
Hi guys, thank you for having me. Let's see, my win, of course, it's just getting closer to finalizing this process on our store. That right there just is amazing. And then my lesson is my sis Adrian has really almost had to kill me a couple times about my pricing, and that I'm working twice as hard when I need to value my worth and how much time it takes me to make things and stuff that I sell. So pricing is definitely a lesson for me. So, and it shows like when you value your time.
I'm looking at Bruce down there. And that's who you need to connect with about that price, and he gonna show you back.
Yeah, that's a second person in 30 days. I might have to put a training together.
So Bruce, this is the first family call that you've been a part of. Bruce is new to the family, so please everybody say hello to Bruce, give him a warm welcome. But also, Bruce, I want to give you the floor so you can let the people know a little bit more about, you know, what do you do, the service, the products that you have out there. And then everybody, if you can, please drop your social medias in the chat. You got the floor, Bruce. What's up? Tell us who Bruce Hill is. New Skills, New You.
I'm Bruce Hill. New Skills, New You will help small businesses and entrepreneurs hear yes more often without sounding salesy. So I operate on a very fundamental principle is that one new skill will change your life. So my entrepreneurship journey started off as a sales professional, was 100% commission. I mean, if I didn't work, I didn't eat. That sound familiar? I was like, oh, this entrepreneurship is easy. So I've been selling everything from, you know, $100 a month to $20,000 a month. So I hear people talk about, oh, I don't know what to talk about on live. I've been talking to VPs and execs that don't want to hear from me. You talking to people that need to hear from you. People tell me, oh, I don't know how much to charge. I don't want to charge too much. I want to seem like I'm greedy. I've been charging people for years. So I took all those skills and I teach them to entrepreneurs, small business owners like yourselves to help them win.
Powerful. Listen, when I say powerful, this is absolutely somebody that everybody needs to connect with. He's going to point you in the right direction. He be getting on me. And with that being said, I'm going to do my win in my lesson. So I would say my first win would just be having Michelle Welch host a class. I'm super excited about this because I get to hear on our mastermind. I get to hear Bruce on our mastermind. So just to have the opportunity for you to be here, you know what I mean? That means a lot for me. That means a lot for the family. I'm very appreciative of that. I know we're all going to take away something from it. I can guarantee that. And as far as my lesson, I would take that back to Bruce because he's been on me about getting our subscription model up and running and going. And that's major. We need to get that going. So I absolutely would make sure that I have that done very soon, Bruce. Very, very, very soon. I know Bruce is going to say have it done today. I'm going to have it done, if not today, possibly tomorrow. But we own it. We own it. Thank you, sir.
All right. Get it done. Can't leave the streets alone. The game needs me.
There we go. That part. Miss Portia, what's your win and what's your lesson? Miss Portia.
Hello, hello. My win for this week is I'm working on a new.
I think you're breaking up. I heard working on the new.
Oh, hold on. Okay. Is that better?
Better.
Okay, wonderful. So I'm working on a new flavored lip balm, and my son is helping me.
Uh-oh. Still breaking up.
And he's really started. Oh,
Good. You're good.
he's really started investing in my passion. And it sounds like it's starting to become his passion. So I'm really excited about that. And my lesson for this week is burnout is real. I am tired. So I've been learning to just take a break and be okay with that.
Good. You on the right call, the right week, because I'm looking at Michelle. So like, oh, yeah. Okay. So we got Miss LC. What's your win and what is your lesson?
What's up, everybody? Is that me or someone else?
Yep, that's you. You good.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Lacidra. Call me LC. My wins this week, I successfully hosted the SummerSlam, the Tell Me When to Glow SummerSlam event, and it was a packed house, an amazing show, nothing but positivity. And the lesson actually came from the same event. To trust my instincts with not letting certain people into the event or on stage, especially when they're not on time, or have respect for the time constraints and the deadlines. So that bleeding heart of mine wanting to give artists the opportunity, if they're not on time, they just won't be able to have it this time.
There's power in the word no.
Yes.
I know where I got that from. Okay. Justina, what's your win? What's your lesson?
Hey fam, I would say my win for this week is that I reached out to a few pioneers within like the cannabis wellness and education space to see if they had time just to give me like 5 seconds just to kind of pick their brain or whatnot. And they actually agreed to be my mentors as I launched my business. So that was a huge one for me. The lesson is understanding balance and respecting that. And knowing how far I can push myself mentally before I just need to pull back. So that's my win and my lesson.
I love it. And then we got Brother Rafael in the house, in the building today. What's the win, my brother, and what is the lesson?
Appreciate you for having me, brother. The wins today is 3 appointments booked. Man, got a few people that have downloaded some free cheat sheets as well. And just have an opportunity to just reach out to other notaries that's been following me and, being positioning myself to create more opportunities for notaries that get to work with us in the future. So those are the wins. And lessons learned, focus on activities. The money will come. Just focus on executing one thing at a time and let the rest fall in place.
That's real. Absolutely. That goes back to like the 10X that Charles talks about. The more you 10X, the more you're gonna get the feedback from it. It's gonna come with the results the more you do it. So absolutely appreciate you, my bro. I see DB. I cannot see the whole name, but DB. If you want to introduce yourself so I can see who that is, but also what's your win and what's your lesson?
It's me, Dom. It's me.
Oh, okay. What's going on, Dom? Like, wait, DB. What's going on?
Nothing much. My wins are to continue to follow my scheduled plan. I learned my lesson when I wasn't following the plan. A couple of other wins was I got 4 orders today off of one little simple reel that I did. Less is more. But that was it. No learned lessons. That was it.
I love it. Those reels equaling dollars. Ms. Marjorie says she's listening in. That is our CPA. So if anybody needs any tax services, make sure you hit up MLM CPA. That's our auntie. That's official auntie for us with Black Business Click. We call her about, hey, what's going on? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? And she's just such a wealth of knowledge. So you know we love you, Miss Marjorie. And lastly, to wrap us up, Nature's I say, what's your win and what's your lesson?
Ooh, let me think of this one. You know, I just chimed in on this. I'm sorry, y'all. My win. I just recently put in an offer on a building in the South, hoping to close on that. And my lesson was with the loan for that mortgage for the building. I went a little too deep in with the amount that I was requesting, looking to get extra money for renovations, and it kind of slowed the process down. Almost caused me to lose out on it. That was a lesson that I learned there.
Okay, that's major. Sending you some good vibes and sending you some good juju. It's already yours. It's already yours. All right, so I appreciate everybody for being here, for tuning in. I'm gonna just give the floor to Michelle so she can do her thing. I know she's ready to rip it and run it. She's 3 hours ahead in O-Town, Orlando, so I know it's a little bit late over there. But let me go ahead. I'm gonna make you the host, and then you can do your thing. You are officially the host. You're on mute. You're on mute, Michelle.
Listen, y'all.
She was ready to just go off.
I was ready to go in. But good evening, everybody. My name is Michelle Welch. For those of you that don't know me, I am a time management and productivity coach. I teach high-performing entrepreneurs how to master their minutes so they can master millions. I am a stickler for a schedule. You cannot be famished and focused. You can master your minutes, you can master millions. High productivity equals high profits. I have catchphrases for days. But more importantly, I'm a single mom of 2 boys. I have a 5-year-old and a 10-year-old. I have a nonprofit called the Single Parent Purpose. It's a 501c3 here registered in Orlando, Florida. And my mission is to help single mothers and single fathers gain clarity in their life so that they can go after their goals and dreams and basically give their children the lives that they truly deserve while having a supportive background and resources available to them. And I also own a residential and commercial cleaning business. I've had that for about 5 years now. Am I missing anything? Oh, I also have a Prima business agency and 6-figure cleaning biz where I do business consulting, productivity coaching for corporate businesses and things like that. Cleaning industry, I've been a part of the industry for 5 years, so I have a wealth of knowledge in about 50 different niches. So I also work with cleaning companies to increase their profits, productivity, and viewership and things like that. So I have my hands full. I have a lot on my plate. However, I'm really, really good at scheduling my time. I'm really good at managing my time. So I created, and I'm also a digital course creator. I created a course back when the pandemic started called Time Management Mastery. And with Time Management Mastery, what I found was so many people knew the concept of time management, like they knew that time management was something that existed, but not too many people really knew how to apply that to their business or apply it to their personal life to really see a difference. So I wanted to break it down to where people could understand it, digest it, and apply it, because we can learn things all day. We can do things all day, take courses, do podcasts, but if we go through the process and don't execute, did we really do what we needed to do? Did we really get the point across? And one thing I want you guys to walk away with, amongst other things, is take being booked and busy out of your vocabulary. You know, we have so much power in our tongue, and I don't think we realize sometimes that the phrases that we put on our businesses, we're welcoming in chaos. When you're busy, how do you feel? You feel like you have anxiety because you don't really know too much of what's going on or what you're supposed to be doing, but you know that there's a list of things that got to get done, and the list is only getting longer. Also, you're in a space of you're at the need of your client, like you're at their beck and call, because when you're busy, when you're booked, you're just trying to funnel people in and out. There's no process, there's no system. So we got to make sure that we're not speaking that type of stuff over our businesses. We're speaking productively producing. I want to make sure that my profits are matching the sweat equity that I'm putting in to grow the business. So essentially, when I came up with the course, that was the concept behind it. I want to make sure that when you walk away from this course, you understand how to time block, how to day theme, how to set SMART goals, how to even understand how to kind of backpedal when you, let's say, for example, you want to make $5,000 this week. Do you have a financial skeleton breakdown of how many courses you need to sell, how many services you need to sell, how many products do you need to sell to get out there? Then break that down. How many people do I need to talk to? How many times do I need to post on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever my choice of network is? How many times do I need to talk to somebody that's in my target audience? So when you look at productivity, you're able to now break down all of these little milestones to get to your big objective and get to your big goal. So give me a second, guys. I'm actually going to pull my course up and I'm going to go through it with you guys. Honestly, this course has been taken by quite a few people. One of the most notable people is Ellie Talks Money took my course in the pandemic when it first came out. And she applied it and she's a millionaire and she runs her businesses and she takes care of her babies and she's on it. So these methods work. They work if you work. And we're going to go over a couple of things on how to get working. Just give me a second. Let me present my screen. Hold on. Screen share. All right. Can you guys see my screen? Yep. I think so.
Yep. Time management mastery.
All right.
Sure.
So time management mastery, taking control of your time and productivity. All right, so time management, it's the process of organizing and planning how to divide your time between specific activities. Being busy is not the same as being effective. When you manage your time, you have less stress. You get to actively see the progress in your life. It reduces stress, it reduces anxiety. Remember, these things that we go into urgent mode about is because there's a fear of the unknown. When you know, there's nothing to fear. When you know when to know. And when you know when to know, that's when you're taking control and you're valuing who you are, what you provide, and what your policies and procedures are. It allows you to set boundaries. That is a really, really big thing. When you decide that you want to take control over your time, which is taking control over your life, you're going to tell a lot of people no. You're going to be setting a lot of boundaries in your business. You're going to operate in a completely different manner, because what we have to understand is time management, productivity, healthy habits, healthy routines, it all goes into your like main objective of productivity throughout your life. So being able to spend more time with your kids, being able to get more productive work done without feeling like you need to work 16 to 18 hours a day, being able to spend time with your husband or your wife or your spouse, and being able to create that relationship and still have it with being an entrepreneur and a mother and a father and all of those other hats that we wear. You give yourself more time. So when you actually control your time, you then can see where there's time gaps. You also are able to identify how much time you're spending scrolling recklessly on social media and not really doing anything that's going to benefit the ultimate goal. Thirdly, you're going to bring yourself more opportunities, because if there's more time in your day, if there's more open space is a beautiful thing for opportunity. So you're able to collaborate more. You're able to work with other people on a different level versus just a touch and go. You're more or less going to be able to create a relationship. So it's just really important to understand what time management can do for your life. To understand your time is to value your time. Guys, a lot of people are saying like, this is my season. And yes, it is, but this is also your life on the line. I want you to really understand and resonate with that. You know, when you decided to become a business owner, you wanted to do it because it was something you loved, but you also wanted to make money, right? The impact, all that extra stuff comes after you make your income. So we want to make sure that we're focused on the goal, why we're here. When understanding your time is realizing how much you can actually accomplish when you use it correctly. Somebody on the call mentioned that they followed their schedule. Kudos to you, because that is the first step, committing to the excellence of wanting to be better. This is something that can take your business from making $1,000 a week to making $10,000 a week, because you're productively producing. You're able to put yourself in a position to say, These are the tasks that I got to get done. These tasks are worth $500, $1,000, $1,500. That is the priority in which we need to work. If you're somebody that can't identify priority off the dribble, that would be a good thing for you to put a monetizing number next to the task. And we'll go over that a little bit more further down the line. All right, so diagnosing your time. What does that 8 hours of work look like to you? So essentially what your homework would be if I was teaching this course like to my students, but this is something that you guys can grasp onto as well. What your homework would be from this time moving forward is to write your schedule out. And I'm not just talking about generally, I mean from 9 to what you're doing this. From 10 to 11, you're doing this. From 12 to 2, you're doing this. And when I mean you're scheduling everything, you're scheduling your inconveniences, you're scheduling your breaks, you're scheduling your you time, you're scheduling your time with hubby, you're scheduling your time by yourself. All of it gets scheduled, because until we can identify exactly where our time is going, we're not going to be able to see where there's loopholes and there's things missing and there's work not being done and productivity is at where the levels are. You got to also see like everything that you do in your day, it contributes to how productive your day is. So you want to make sure that you're spending your time in the right places rather than wasting it in the wrong places. Think about your daily routine. So how many of you, if you can pull up your tabs real quick, let me know how many of you, drop a 1 if you have a daily routine, meaning you know what time you're waking up. You know what time you got to get the kids out the door. You know what time you got to get things done. You know what time your schedule is starting. So who right now has a decent routine for themselves that they're pretty much following? Like you're able to stay on there. All right. So Cookie, good job. You got a routine going. I have a routine. My routine is I wake up at 5 a.m. Between 5 and 7 is my prayer, shower, meditation time. I get breakfast ready for me and the boys, get the boys up at 8, get out of the house by 8:30. Like we're literally like on a schedule and we hit the ground running. 0.5. You have a routine. Okay, good. Healthy habits and healthy routine lead to ultimate time management mastery. So what happens when life happens and you get thrown 2 hours off your schedule? When you have a routine already, or you already have a pre-planned schedule, there's no reason for you to go kind of crazy and try to figure things out, because you already know where to eject yourself back into your schedule at. So let's say, for example, you plan your 8 hours out the day and you get into a car accident or something, God forbid something, you blow a tire or something like that, and you have to wait 90 minutes for AAA. So now rather than, I'm sorry, guys. Rather than you saying ditch your whole schedule, I'm not going to follow it, I'm not going to do any of that, you are now putting yourself in position to say, you know what? Yeah, I'm missing 90 minutes out of my schedule, but I scheduled this at 3 o'clock. It's 2:45. I can make it. I can do what I need to do in time to get back on there. The biggest part about making the schedule is keeping it. So that doesn't mean that you allow things and tasks to run over, nothing like that. You have to stay committed to keeping your time on your schedule. All right, so there's some skills that are required for proper time management. So time blocking is a time management method that asks you to divide your day into blocks of time. Each block is dedicated to accomplishing a specific task, a group, or a specific of those tasks. Day theming is a time management method that asks you to dedicate your work day to a particular theme. This way, everything you do for that day follows the theme and you stay on task. I do a combo of day theming and time blocking. So I day theme all of my days, but I time block those days still. So let's say, for example, today, my Monday is my admin day. So because I have the cleaning business, the coaching businesses and all that, I make sure my payroll is ran. I make sure that all my emails are checked. I make sure that I reach back out to anybody that I didn't get to touch base with on Friday. And I kind of just do all of the admin work and get everything together on Monday. And then Tuesday and Thursdays are typically going to be my content days. So I make sure that I have like the right outfits on. I make sure my makeup is done correctly and things like that. So I prepare myself, I get myself ready, and that's the mixture that I do. So time blocking, this is what a time block schedule would look like. You have, here it says yoga from 6:30 to 7. And now I highly recommend you putting your schedule like on your Google Calendar on your phone, because what you can do is you can set notifications on your phone that when it's time to switch to the next task, it can notify you so that you're staying on point with what you're trying to do. Now, when you're time blocking things, you have to be very cognizant of the amount of time that you're setting for each task. Let's say you're somebody that likes to create, You like to create flyers and stuff in Canva, but within a 2-hour time frame, you know, ideally you can only create 10 flyers. There's no reason why in that 2-hour time frame you're going to try and fit 20 when you know that you willingly and can complete the task out can only do 10. That's where you're kind of overstepping your expectation and expecting a result that you know you're not going to get, and you're going to set yourself up for failure and to not want to complete the task because it seemed like it may have been too difficult. So I want you to be very realistic when you're setting your time frames for things. So if you know that it's going to take you 2 hours to do 10 graphics, that's fine. We have to start somewhere. You're not going to be an expert at this. You're not going to be, you know, producing tons of stuff. That's not what we need. We need you to get started. We need you to start developing the habit and routine of actually getting these things done so that we can move forward with it. All right, so we're gonna go into day theming. All right, so day theming, it allows you to see what's truly important. Larger priorities can get lost in the day-to-day in life. We often miss out on creating what's truly important to us because we don't have an understanding of the priority of the task. Earlier, I mentioned that you would be able to put a dollar amount next to what the task is. Sorry, guys. You could put a dollar amount next to what that task is so that you can see in what order that priority would be. All right. So don't stress about what you're not doing. Like that, you got to get out of the mindset of like, I got to do this, I got to do that. No, multitasking is out the window. After today, I don't want to see you guys multitasking. I want to hear about the word multitasking, because all you're doing is taking the capacity in which your brain can operate and just diminishing it, taking it lower, lower, lower. So you got to think about it like this. How slow does your computer run when you have 15 tabs open at a time? It is the same concept when you're trying to do multiple tasks. You don't get multiple things done. There's no reason for that. So we want to make sure that we're staying intentional about everything that we're doing for the business, but we're also not worried about what we're not getting done. I used to be a person that I would be working on something and then I would like remember that I had something else to do and I would like start freaking out and I would just stop everything I was doing and go run and do that task. When that happens to you, grab a notepad or something and write that down and set it to the side. You have to train yourself to calm yourself down when you feel like you're getting too overwhelmed. You can't allow yourself to psych yourself out. I always say, Michelle, calm down, finish this task, and then move forward. And I talk to myself a lot because I get very anxious. I get very excited. I'm very passionate about everything that I do. So I invest my emotions into it very heavily. So sometimes I got to draw that back in and just say, Michelle, you need to relax for a second. Calm down. It's okay. You can get this completed, but let's finish what's on the plate right now. So don't stress about it because it's going to get done. And if it doesn't, what's the worst that's going to happen? You're either going to have a problem or solution, and that's that. So these are the types, I'm going to go back to that page, but these are the types of day themes that you can have. Email day themes, content creation day, teamwork day, meetings, interview, conference day. So I kind of like to day theme my day out. Like Monday is admin day, Tuesday is content day, Wednesday is usually client day, Thursday is content day, and then Friday is kind of like the trail mix day. It's the mix of whatever happens, whatever comes up throughout the week, whatever I finish. And then Sunday is always my planning day. I always plan on Sunday. Saturday is the day that I don't look at my computer. I barely look at my phone. It's primarily spent with family, and that doesn't change. And right now I'm working to actually work only Monday through Thursday and take Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. So I'll let y'all know how that goes, but it's going to be pretty interesting. So deep work. Deep work is really, really important because when you get into a deep working state, you're able to produce really, really good content. You're able to basically productively produce whatever you want in those moments. When you deep work, it takes about 30 minutes to get into a deep work state of mind, into getting into the groove. So when you're setting yourself to deep work, you want to typically do it for like an hour and a half to 2 hours max, because after that 2-hour point, you're going to start getting like exhaustion. You're going to start like feeling, like it's overwhelming to you, and you're going to get like tired of it and you're going to stop doing it. So it's always good to also plan breaks when you're doing deep work. However, be very cognizant of not doing a break too early. So you want to make sure if you're going to schedule a break, it's 30 minutes after you've already started, because you're not in the groove yet. You want to get into the groove, but you also don't want to lose pace. So it's really good to, if you're going to do deep work, to take a break anywhere between an hour and 25 minutes into an hour and 45 minutes in. And then you want to take about a 15-minute break, kind of. You want to take a like a 15-minute break and then go from there. All right, so let's go.
Look at your dad. He ready?
Hey Glenn, give me co-host so I can mute. There we go. Sorry for the interruption, Michelle. Keep rocking it.
Sorry. Okay. All right. So taking control of your time, right? Okay. So you just don't want to spend your day doing specific tasks. When you say you don't have time, you're simply saying it's not a priority. So you guys definitely need to think about that. When you say that you don't have time for this, it's not that you don't have time. It's just that you're not creating space for it. You're not putting it on your schedule. We have the power to fill our lives with the things that deserve to be there. Time management is not only managing time, but managing priorities and activities. You can't change time, but you can change how you choose to use it. So prioritizing your task, important and urgent should always be accomplished first. Important but not urgent would come second. Urgent but not important should be delegated. And then not urgent and not important, you either need to get it done within 10 minutes or it needs to get pushed out somewhere else. It just does not need to be on your plate. Scheduling your distractions. And I just mentioned this earlier, your breaks, planning your breaks, your mental breaks, everything needs to be on the schedule. Your conversations, you're checking your email. When you have everything on your schedule, it's so much easier for you to know what time you actually have available to get more productive work done. Plan ahead. When you plan on Sunday for your week, you automatically put yourself in a position to be ahead of the game. Why? Because let's say, for example, you've already planned your entire week out. You now know what time you have left over for self-care. If you want to go have a drink with the girls, if you want to spend time with the kids one-on-one, whatever that looks like for you, you're able to see in hindsight already. All right, Thursday, I know that I have a light day. I can go get dressed and, go to Blue Martini and mix and mingle and do what I got to do. It allows you to open yourself up because in this day and age, people want to network. We got to get out there. We got to let people know about our business. And it's just as important to put those networking events on your schedule so that there is no excuse as to why you're not there. You want people to buy into your business and people need to know about what you have to offer. And that is going to be the best way for you to do it. All right. I'm going to skip over this because these are actually updated and I can give Glenn a copy of it. All right, so focus on your mindset. So a lot of us hear all the time, it's all about your mindset. But guys, when I truly tell you that it is about your mindset, like I mean that wholeheartedly for the simple fact that it's so easy to project negative thoughts all day. It's so easy to think negatively about a situation. And with time management, it's so easy to say, you know what? I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. and I don't have gym clothes, so I can't go to the gym, or I didn't put them in the washer, so now I can't go. Like, no, it's so easy to make excuses and it's a lot harder to execute. So we have to make sure we have the mindset for that. And your mindset is everything. It's the foundation for every success and achievement of your life. What you visually see in your mind, what you have up here is what projects out to everyone else. So we have to be, mindful of everything that we do, everything that we say, the actions that we do to other people, because everything is 360. It comes right back around to you or 180. And, keeping a positive attitude, daily affirmations, being intentional. I love that word. It is actually my word for the rest of the year, because when you're intentional with your time, that just shows the care and the passion you have for your business. Like when you're intentional with your time, it's the self-love and self-respect that you have for yourself. When you're intentional with your time, you're not going to let people play with you. You're not going to let people overstep boundaries. You're not going to allow any of that to happen because self. You are aligned. Like, what you want out of the business. You know what you want out of your personal life. And when things don't match with that, it becomes so easy for you to say, that's not the type of time I'm on right now. Like, sorry, I can't help you. It's, when I say it's you season, it's selfish time, I mean it wholeheartedly, because at the end of the day, and I'm not trying to be mean and I'm not trying to sound nasty, but when it comes down to it, when it comes down to one business owner to the other, they're going to come for your neck. Like they're going to come at you. So you have to be prepared. Like you have to make sure all ends are covered. Everything is strapped in with your mindset, with your vision, with your routine, everything correlates to each other, and you plan and you execute. It's great to go through the process, but what's even better is the results that you get from executing on the process, is being able to give clients their deliverables with a smile on your face because you did what you had to do. Because procrastination doesn't lead to profits, productivity does. and it leads to a better life. It leads to a more fulfilled attitude. Imagine when you're making money, you feel good. You feel like you're on top of the world. Like it makes you feel like you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. But when you're constantly sitting there and you feel like you're struggling just to get someone to even hear you pitch what you have to sell, or even come to your website to see a product, it feels like it's never going to end. Like it feels like it's just not going to be here. So you have to have that mindset that everything that you want is for you. It's going to come to you. So all of those negative thoughts, you know, I have to just sometimes talk myself out of it. Even being in the position that I'm in now, it's still very hard. You know, they say new levels, new devils. The attacks are much, much different when you are operating from a space of knowing, like, I know God has me here for a reason. Like, this is not for me anymore, like at all. Like this, I started off with a cleaning business. And for some odd reason, he just thought that I had the loud enough mouth to educate and to teach. And so because of that, showing up, being positive and understanding that the mission is bigger than me. Every single one of you guys that's on this call right now, you have a mission. You have a reason why you're called to be an entrepreneur. This is not an easy job. Nothing is easy about entrepreneurship. It's not very glamorous. It's not anything of what people put the perception out on Instagram. And I can say that because I've been an entrepreneur from before it was cool, before the pandemic, before all the stimmies were dropping, before all of that stuff, when I really had to get it out the mud. So I understand. And it's just like, it's a different viewpoint. So you got to give yourself kudos. You got to give yourself grace. Like, this is not easy. Every day waking up, trying to generate your own money. That's crazy. You literally took an idea. You created a lip balm. You created a makeup line. You created, you know, whatever it is. You created a notary course and you put it out there. That's crazy. Like, give yourself credit for that. It takes a lot for someone to wake up and say, you know what? This is in me. It got to come out of me. I'm going to monetize my genius at this point. And that's what you're doing. You're monetizing your genius. And you got to like take that more serious. Like, you got to cultivate it. You got to love on it. You got to really cherish what you have, because there's people that wish they had that creative mentality, that they wish they could get up and just say, I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna get it out the mud. You're in a position to be a little bit ahead of some people. Don't take that for granted. Don't take it in vain. Get it, run with it, and try to keep up that discipline and motivation as much as you can. All right. Productivity affirmations. I can definitely send you guys these. You know, I'm highly productive. I'm motivated and driven. You know, I'm energized and motivated when I get more done. Speak life into you, into your businesses. Like, it works. It works wonders. One thing that my coach, and Coach Bruce is on here, he's my coach as well, is every morning we don't talk, we don't get on a call every morning. However, now every morning when I wake up, the first thing I do when I open my eyes is I tell God what I'm thankful for immediately. And I start it with gratitude. I start my day off on the right foot, because literally as soon as I wake up, my phone is already going bananas. So if I don't keep that peace before my day starts, and if I don't get up at 5 a.m. and meditate and have my daily routine, I'm going to be off. I'm not even lying to you. My whole day will go to shit. And it's because I'm used to getting up, taking a shower, meditating, praying, getting things together. That is what my routine is. So when I don't do that, when I don't talk to God in the morning, when I don't meditate, when I don't find my happy place to deal with people all day, I'm not aligned. And we have to take a second and understand that there's maturity in slowing down. What are you rushing for? What are you trying to get to where you're going for? Like, what is for you will be there. I promise you, it will be there. There's no reason to try to run to get there. There's no reason to try to skip steps to get there. Follow the process. And when you follow the process, you don't have to worry about pivoting all the time. You don't have to worry about fixing all your mistakes, because you've already built a foundation strong enough that if you have to pivot, if something goes down, if Facebook and Instagram went down for 3 days, you have your news, you have your email list already ready. You got your text message list ready. You have your way that you're going to reach out to other people. Guys, we have to make sure we're prepared. And the way you prepare is having a plan. The way you prepare is making sure that you have a strategy. You have these things in place so that you know that when you need to pivot, it's simple. It's easy. I say this all the time on live. I say, if someone was to say, I believe in your vision so much that I want to give you and invest $25,000 into you, would you be able to come back to them within 30 minutes to an hour with a business plan, a marketing plan to show them where you would put that money? If you can't, that's a little bit of a problem, because there's people, the situation could happen. And it's like, so then what's the problem? Do you not believe in yourself enough that someone could come up to you and want to just give you money to invest into your business? You need to start thinking bigger. You need to start thinking that everybody wants to work with you. And you need to tell them why you need to work with me. If you're not working with me, you're crazy. You're absolutely insane. Why, Michelle? Because I'm going to show you how to increase your profits by 30% within 30 days by doing the things that I teach you in my program. What is the result that people are going to get from working with you? And take that and smear it everywhere. Put it in their face, all over the place. And when you're productive and you're creating your schedule, you're going to put on your schedule 9 a.m. post, 10 a.m. go live, 12 p.m. drop a reel, 3 p.m. drop a post, 8 p.m. do a collaborative live. When you have your schedule built out, you're able to then say the coin should be coming in. Why? Because this is how present I am. Not only that, you're able to kind of look back and say, all right, last Wednesday, we posted 4 times and did 2 reels and we got 20 sales. Okay, this Wednesday, we posted 3 reels and only 2 posts and got 10 sales. What happened? Was it the time frame that the posts were done? Was it the type of engagement that the posts were getting? You can only do these things when you're actually doing analytics, when you're actually testing the market. So one thing I want you guys to understand is we don't all have this all figured out. It's really trial and error. All of it is, because we all have different products. We all position ourselves in different ways. However, I know enough about service-based business and product-based business that you need to be posting at least 4 to 6 times a day and going live every day if you're trying to get your brand in front of people. That's what is necessary. Value, visibility, and consistency. How valuable are you to your audience right now? What type of gems are you dropping for them? What type of free information are you giving them that they can learn with, right? Visibility. Are you where your target market is? Are you going to where you're going to find people that are going to buy into your services? Some people have an audience on Pinterest. Some people have an audience on LinkedIn. Do you know where your audience is? And if so, how visible are you on there? How much are you posting? How consistently are you posting? Consistency is the third thing. Consistency, it doesn't matter how talented you are. It doesn't matter how famous you are. If you're not consistent, you will get beat out by somebody that knows half as much as you do and has half as much heart as you do. And it's not even a joke. A lot of you could already have made it to the next level, but you're not consistent enough. You're not showing up. And the thing with showing up is when you show up consistently enough, there'll be days where you can only show up at 20%. You can only show up at 50%. But guess what? Nobody's going to know the difference. Why? Because you're always operating in a capacity that's at 100%, 200%. That if you show up one day and it's like, you know what? I need a second. It won't make a difference. I need a lot of seconds, but guess what? I show up every day, even if it's a little post, even if it's a story, even if it's whatever it is, I make sure I'm showing up because I know that there's somebody that needs to hear the message that I'm putting across. And that's just what it is. And so when you think about it in retrospect and you're like, damn, like there's really people depending on what you have. You're missing out on finding those people that need you, that need your story, that need your product, that need your service. And you have to be consistent. And the way you're going to get consistent is by creating a schedule, is by sticking to that schedule, creating habits and creating routines. My day theming is so on point now that like everything in my life correlates with my day theme schedule. Mondays is certain things, Tuesdays is certain things, even down to the fact of like, I've noticed that for the past couple of weeks, we've only eaten chicken on like Mondays and Wednesdays. We eat fish on I'm like even day theming our food choices. So it's like comes down to everything just being really organized. And when it's organized, guys, I used to spend so much money on Uber Eats and DoorDash. Like literally 1 month, my accountant, I've spent like $2,500 and she was about to slap me through the phone. And I was like, sis, we're deleting everything. Because why am I spending that much money? And it was out of me being lazy, out of me saying, I'm tired. Okay, so what? You know what you need to do. So guess what? Guess what I do now? I create meal plans for me and the boys. I cook in bulk. I put our meals in the refrigerator. I break our food up. So like when I go to Sam's Club and I buy our food in bulk, I create like a little Ziploc bags with the chicken in it, with the marinade. I put it in the freezer so that in the morning I take it out. By the time I get home from dinner, the chicken's already marinating, throw it, get ready to cook, get some rice going, whatever the case may be. And it's food that's good, it's home cooked, and I'm saving money. So it's just like, you have to commit to being better. You have to make sacrifices. I mean, I guess it's really not a sacrifice because I was spending so much money, but I love food and I love convenience of not having to cook. But I also don't like that $2,500 bill. And now I got to sell 2, 3, 4, 5 extra courses just to cover my food bill. No, I don't want to do all that. So essentially the best thing to do, schedule in meal prepping time, schedule in creating your grocery list so that you're not spending so much money and that you're eating right, you're eating healthy. We're moving into a time where like it's essential to be mindful of the money you're spending on food. In Florida, bread is like $5 a loaf. That's crazy. I've never seen food so expensive in my life. And I used to own a catering company. And it's like, this is ridiculous. I don't know how restaurants are even surviving. So it's just like, you got to be mindful of everything. When you have your schedule down, you have your budget together, it all goes hand in hand. And when you have your schedule down, your personal life becomes so much easier to manage because you automatically already know everything that you have to do. All right. So getting started. All right. Planner, get a planner, organize your task, identify and set your goals and execute. So one big thing that I'm going to tell you guys, brain dumping, brain dumps. Hold on. Let me pull it up real quick. How to schedule your intentional week. First things first is you're going to do a brain dump. A brain dump is a simple technique to help you declutter your mind and organize your thoughts. Hold on one second. Let me grab my notebook real quick. I'll show you guys what my brain dump looks like. All right. So when I do a brain dump, I typically do it on paper that looks like this. And I get everything down on the paper, right? And so then what I do is I grab 2 highlighters, 2 different color highlighters. And the yellow highlighter is going to be all of my tasks that I'm going to complete. And then the secondary highlighter is going to be what I'm delegating out or what I don't want to do, what my non-negotiables are. Like I'm not handling it, so someone else got to do it. So I brain dump everything down and then I go through and I prioritize everything. Now I say it like that because I have an admin and I have help, I have a team. For those of you that don't have help and you don't have a team quite yet, because you're going to have it soon, but not if you don't have one yet, you can still go through and highlight. And the way that you can kind of mark things down, yellow can be your priority task, and then orange can be your following task. So anything that is going to be in yellow, you're going to schedule during your peak hours of working. My peak hours of working are from 5 in the morning to like noon. I can really get like that many hours of productive work in. So I schedule my important tasks, the things that I know that are going to make me big money, my, what is it called? Proposals, my stuff like that, I get done in the morning time because that's where I need the majority of my brain work to put analytics together, programs together for people, et cetera, et cetera. So then what I do is I get sticky notes, not sticky notes. Well, you could either do sticky notes, but I like to do note cards because you can add a couple more notes to them. So then what I do is I take the note card and at the top, I put the business name of the to-do list that I need to get done. And then I take all the yellow tasks and I put them all on note cards based off of the business that they're in. Then I set my timer for 25-minute increments and I work through them. That's if, I'm just trying to work through task or whatever the case may be. Now, if you're going to use a brain dump to utilize and get on for your schedule, you're going to still do all of these tasks. But when you schedule it on the day of, like, let's say, for example, tomorrow, we're going to schedule email newsletters from 9 to 10. I'm going to create some emails and I'm going to send out some new newsletters. From 10:15 to about 12, we're going to do work in the Facebook group. We're going to create some content for the Facebook group, be in there talking, chatting with people. And then I'm also going to group that up with sending client proposals. So that's 2 hours that I can do those 2 tasks. And that's just how you break it down and you add it to your schedule. So that's how you can do your brain dump. And next, prioritizing your task, which is what we kind of did with the highlighters. And another way to prioritize your task, remember, is you can put a dollar amount next to the task that needs to get done. So if you're like, I don't really know what's a high priority, what makes you the most money is what a high priority is. And until you can identify what those other priorities look like, go where the money flows. That's really what it comes down to. Time blocking, we just went over that. And then scheduling for efficient days. Define your why. This is a really important thing because a lot of times, like when you're a mom or when you're a dad, like the initial thing that you say is like, I'm doing this for my kids. That's beautiful. I do it for my kids too. However, in the days where you don't really care about the kids because things are just going really, really crazy, you got to find something a little bit more meaningful for you, because ultimately, like, we love our children. They're amazing. I have 2 of them of my own, but like I started resenting entrepreneurship because the drive behind it was solely about my kids. And the one thing that I didn't realize was, although I was getting into entrepreneurship to be more of a full-time mom, it took me away from my kids more. And I didn't realize that that was what was going to happen when I first got into it. Because obviously, you know, you got to jumpstart, you got to get things going. Like, it wasn't always peaches and cream for me. It was very, very hard because I started business when I had a 6-week-old baby and a 4-year-old son. So I was away from my newborn a lot. And, you know, I had to make it work because now at this point, I can do anything with them. I can spend that time. I can do anything. So when I say sometimes you have to make sacrifices to get to the bigger picture, you got to know what that bigger picture looks like. You got to know what that why is aside from the children. So my why truly is like, I feel like I'm here to help people in the best way possible, whether it be with my energy, my smile, my hugs, the way I pour into people. I know that I'm here for that reason. I know that I'm here to inspire people, to use my voice for good. And because I know that, it's easier for me to say, you know what, I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this because I genuinely love to do this. I love to educate people. I love to pour my experiences into people. So it's bigger. And that's why when I started the car, I said, this is bigger than me. It's just not about me. You know, I have a wealth of knowledge when it comes to business. Anything else, I don't know nothing about. Like, I'm oblivious to anything. I don't know what's on TV. I don't even watch TV. I literally am so locked in on business that my life is consumed by it, but I love it. And it's exhilarating to me. And it gives me that adrenaline push that I need. I don't know what it is, but business was always meant for me. So when you find that why, run with it, but don't allow your why to be attached to other people or other things. Your why really needs to be rooted in here, in this heart space, like for real, for real. All right, setting priorities. What are your non-negotiables? If you don't know what your non-negotiables are, you're not going to be able to set priorities for anything. Your priorities are things that you want to handle, what you want to do. Remember, this is your selfish season. You're taking care of you right now. You can't take care of nobody else because we got to get this business together. We got to get this foundation in order. So what do those priorities look like? Whether that be not binge watching Netflix and not going to brunch and taking that time to invest it back into the business. You have to make sacrifice for what matters the most right now. That is what's going to take you to the next level. Also, making sure that you're being realistic, and I said this already, being realistic on how long tasks will take you. I don't want you to overestimate, but I don't want you also to underestimate. If you finish something quicker than you thought you would, keep moving forward, keep going through all your tasks. And what that'll do is that'll let you kind of be off the hook for the rest of your day. If you have a couple, an hour maybe that you finish sooner, use that time to reinvest back into yourself. Meaning, go lay out by the pool, go for a walk by yourself and just kind of take in what's going on, sit down and journal, sit down and paint, do something for you. Basically the point I'm making is do something for you, not something for you that's going to make the kids happy, not something for you that's going to make babe happy, something for you. That's it. Work smarter, not harder. One of my mentors for my nonprofit, he used to always tell me, when you ask for money, you get advice. When you ask for advice, you get money. And it doesn't necessarily mean money in a tangible, like I'm going to just give you money, but it also could mean me sitting here and telling you how to go fish, me putting you in a relationship with someone else and saying, hey, this person, they got what you're looking for. That's a money play. Go work with them. That is another way. So we cannot help and we cannot make the workload easier if we do not know what problems you're facing, if we do not know what struggles you're going through. So you have to be open and vulnerable to saying, listen, I need help. I need help. I did it the other day with Coach Bruce. I told him, I said, this program is not selling. I need your help because I don't know how to sell. All I know is how to show up and be Michelle Welch, and everything else falls in line. So as of right now, it's like things are not falling in line. So it's like, what am I doing wrong? Because this is how I've done it for so long. I had to call in extra help, and that's okay. That doesn't make me less of a business owner. It just means that I've hit my plateau of my knowledge, and it's time for me to reinvest. It's time for me to reinvest. Guys, I'm 30. I just turned 30 in June, and I've invested probably about $75,000 into my own personal development through masterminds and all of those things. And I'm probably going to invest so much more. Why? Because there's so much out here to learn. Like there's so much more to do. There's so much more to be. So don't limit yourself. Create a productive morning routine. If you go back on any of my lives or anything like that, you will always see when I'm talking about routines, I talk about waking up at 5 a.m, doing my prayer, meditation, and breakfast. All like that's exactly what I talk about. That is the one thing that I know between 5 and 7, I'm locked in on. You guys can't touch me when it comes to that. So create that powerful morning routine that's going to get you in a space to take on the day for what it is. Avoid task switching. And I mentioned this earlier. You'll be working diligently on your task and you're like, oh my God, I got to go do this. No chicken littling. Write it down and keep going with what you're doing. The sky is not falling. Everything is not going to fall apart if you don't get that task done, because if it was that important, you would have done it already, or you would have had it on a to-do list. So just write it down and keep moving forward, and then fit it in where it needs to be. Or if you finish a task a little bit earlier, you can attack that task as well. Batch task and block scheduling, which is what we went over with time blocking and day theming. And then expect the unexpected. It's not always going to be an ideal day. Like you're not always going to have just a perfect, I went through my day, it was great. That'll happen. But sometimes you might go through the day and one of the kids might fall off the couch and one of them might jump off the steps, and you know, you might burn the chicken. I don't know. Like, listen, life be lifing sometimes, and that's okay. The thing is, you can't get frustrated at it. Like what you can do is continue to follow your schedule. And continue to follow your schedule. And it doesn't matter if everything's falling apart, follow your schedule. Because when you follow your schedule, nothing can really be falling apart because you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing. So all of that fear of this is all falling apart, no, it's just you psyching yourself out. Like that's all it is. So that's when we calm ourselves and we talk to ourselves. Listen, Michelle, calm down. It's okay. You got this. You can move forward. You got your time blocks. You got your day themes. You got your schedule together. Drink some water, take a walk, refocus yourself, but ultimately understand you are in control of all of this, all of this. If someone was urgently needed you that bad or needed that task done that bad, you would definitely have done it already. So I want you to be very mindful about the energy you put into getting things done immediately. Stop that. Like you're not working in survival mode anymore. We're thriving. Okay. We're thriving now. So, yeah, so that's the end of that one. Let me see here. All right, healthy habits and healthy routines, start small. It can be as simple as leaving your gym bag by the front door so that when you get up at 5 a.m., you're brushing your teeth and you're out the door with your gym bag. No excuses. Do it every day. It takes about 18 plus days to form healthy habits and healthy routines. Quitting by day 3 because it's not making sense and it's not working is not going to cut it. Stop making excuses, stay consistent, discipline yourself enough to say, this is what I need to do. And if you can't do that, you need to grow up because this is what you need to do. Like there is absolutely, it's a non-negotiable. You need to get your schedule together. You need to get your goals written down. You need to get more serious about the foundation of your business. You cannot grow and scale a side hustle or a business concept. It's not going to work. You can only scale things that have systems attached to them. Remember, we're not trying to be employees of the business. We're trying to be founders, CEOs. Remember the position that you want, act as such, and continue to operate in that manner. Make it easy. It does not have to be difficult. It doesn't have to be complex. It can be so simple. Reward yourself. Guys, this is a really big thing because we beat ourselves up a lot. We are constantly nagging on ourselves like we're not doing enough. We're not doing enough. Realistically, you're doing what you need to be doing because you're in the space and time that you need to be in. So you got to understand that. Stay present, stay grounded, be accountable to yourself. So if you need an accountability partner, that's cool, but you also need to gain enough self-discipline to say, I got to get up out of bed at 5. I need to have the kids down by 7. I need to have dinner done by 5:30. You need to create that urgency for yourself, because if you don't, who's going to? Nobody's going to. And guess what happens? That's when you start ordering DoorDash and you start letting laundry pile up, and it goes downhill, and it's not a pretty sight. Find your why. We already talked about that. Track your progress. This is a big one. For those of you that like journaling, start journaling every night right before you go to bed, maybe an hour before you go to bed. What it'll allow you to do is kind of see your growth mindset, because when you start taking control of your habits and routines, you get to see the way you react to things differently. You get to, when you write your issues that you had with your day, the way you write it and perceive it, everything's going to change. So it's really, really dope when you document it. You can see what your changes were, but also you're allowed to, if you like, before you go to bed, I come up with a lot of ideas right before it's time for me to go to bed. I write them down and I revisit them in the morning. So that also helps with that. So that's another thing with tracking your progress. It's so, so important. So I'm sure you guys have heard of SMART goals before: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. SMART, keep it smart. Keep it specific, defined, clear. We want to be very clear so that we can offer clear results. Measurable, you want to make sure that you're able to measure your progress so that you can measure your milestones and see where you're going. Achievable, they need to be attainable and realistic. You know, $5 million in 3 years is not really like a goal. You know, $150,000 a quarter broken down into this many courses sold and this X, Y, and Z. Those are more attainable goals, because you can create more milestones to get to those places. Relevant. Don't waste your time doing things that are not important or worth your time. Simple as that. Time bound. Give yourself deadlines. Hold yourself accountable. If you know you need to have something done by Friday, it should not be Friday and you trying to make an excuse as to why you didn't get it done. That's just pure laziness, and it needs to end today, right now. It's not happening anymore. All right, so a lot of people talk about work-life balance. I'm gonna just be the first one to break it to you. And this is my perspective, that's not real. It's really not real. It's not. Being a mom with 2 boys and doing all that I do, there's not balance. It's integration. It's, if I got to be on a call and the kids are here, can y'all be quiet, please? Because we got to make it work. Or if I have to go to do a walkthrough for the cleaning business and I have one of my sons with me, they come with me. Like, I've integrated all of it together, and it actually works out really, really well, because my boys get experiences that they've never had before. And honestly, I get peace of mind knowing that, you know, I get to be with my kids and I'm not paying an nanny, or I'm not being nagged by my mom because she got her grandbabies all day. Like, no, it's none of that. It's being able to really indulge them in this life that I've created for them. And they love it. Like, they love going places with me. They love coming and sitting at meetings. Like, my boys are amazing. They're not here right now because they don't want anything to do with me for the summertime. But if they were here, they would probably be like around me, just like watching and listening, because they're really intrigued by it. They literally grew up in entrepreneurship, like all of it. So it's really endearing to see. So there is no balance to me. There's integration. We work together. We see how we can make it work. And when you get to this point of having children and running a business, you'll see how much like balance doesn't exist too much. So for me, it's kind of like, it's just your attitude towards it. You know, some people will say you have to have balance. No, you don't have to have anything, honestly. What you have to have is an understanding of what you want out of the business, out of your relationship with your children, out of your parenting relationship. And if it works for you, it doesn't matter who else it works for. My situation works for me. It works having my kids run around. I don't care, because at the end of the day, you're going to get the knowledge that I'm giving you. Them doing what they do is not going to stop the impact that I'm going to have. So that's why I'm like, it is what it is. Let go, work-life balance tips. Let go of the fear. If you aren't working every minute, that you're going to fail. No, you're not. If you work every minute, you're going to fail because you're tired, because you need to take a break. You're going to work yourself into the ground. Rest is a requirement, not a reward. It is a requirement. You need to sleep 6 to 8 hours. I would say 8 hours a day, but for me, like, I only get 6 hours, but sleep 8 hours a day. Take care of yourself, because this working until we're dead, like, It is so stressful out here in these streets. It is not easy to be an entrepreneur right now. So imagine all of the fear we already have. You know, there's a recession hanging over our head. There's this hanging over our head. Gas is $18 a gallon. Bread is $15 a loaf. Like all these things are happening. We don't got time. Okay. Schedule everything. Excuse me. Get everything on a schedule. Jury duty, pediatrician appointment, date night with bae. Got to go to Victoria's Secret. I don't care what that looks like. Get it on your schedule. Everything on your schedule. When you get everything on your schedule, there's no burnout that's going to happen. There's no, you know, there's no bills that are going to fall through the loop because you have an open understanding of everything. It's like opening up like a metaverse right here. And it's just like all your stuff organized. It's so beautiful, isn't it? Just envisioning it, like just waking up and your schedule is just made for you. And you already just know what you got to do. Prepare yourself. So build a lifestyle into your brand. I'm the mom entrepreneur. It would be expected that my kids would come with me to do things. It would be expected that Trey might make an appearance and say hi to you guys. It would be expected because when you go to my Instagram page or when you go to my Facebook or when you go to my website, you immediately see that I'm a single mother of 2. You immediately see that my boys are a forefront of everything that I have. Like those are the things that I've built into my brand authority, that who I am, Michelle Welch is. She's the mom entrepreneur, the mother hustler, the one that does it for her kids. So people resonate that with me. And so that's why it's important to understand, like, you can build your lifestyle around entrepreneurship because you are the boss. You're the one that creates what that looks like. Set boundaries. How many of you guys allow your phone, your business line to ring after 6 o'clock, after 7 o'clock? It's 9 o'clock at night and you're talking to people on the phone. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You need to set boundaries for everything. People should not be calling you after business hours. You should not be answering the phone. You need to have that medium because guess what? When you're always on call for customers, when you're always on call for people, the moment that you can't be there, you're the worst person ever. I want to charge back. I don't want to work with you anymore. You don't care about me. You don't care about my results. No, you need to set those boundaries in the beginning of any interaction, friends, all of that stuff. Everybody needs to understand, when does your phone go on D&D? When is it time to decompress? You need to keep that time for yourself. You can't always be readily available for people. You cannot. It's not going to work that unless someone is paying top dollar to work with you. Why are you at everyone's beck and call? That's why you're so confused and you're so frustrated. You feel like you're overworked and underpaid because you're overworked. You're over giving yourself. You don't have to do all that. You really don't. So set those boundaries and make sure that you have those policies and procedures in place for your clients so that it's not 10 o'clock at night and you got someone calling your phone. Me right now. Why? Why are they calling? It's 10 o'clock. What can I possibly do for you right now? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So reward yourself. Again, big milestones, small milestones. I want to see you hugging on yourself. I want to see you giving yourself your flowers. Like whatever that looks like, you need to get it right. And just be mindful and be fully aware. It can bring you clarity. It brings you more intention with your work. Why are you here? Why are you doing this? Do you love what you're doing? Do you enjoy what you're doing? And if so, are you going to do it the absolute best that you can? And are you going to show up? Those things are so important because remember, what we think, what we care about, all of that stuff projects into our business, into our success, into what all of those things look like. All right, so high productivity equals high profits. When you can master your minutes, you can master millions. Understanding your habits and routine, blocking your time, setting a timer, and doing focused work sessions, setting milestones and goals, and making an effort every day to make the most out of your time, you're gonna produce a millionaire, literally. Like you are on track to be a millionaire. If you follow these steps, you do these things, and you take control of your time, it's the possibilities are limitless. The opportunities you present to yourself are limitless. And you yourself, you'll feel a freedom that you've never felt before because you'll know when to know. You'll know when it's time to let things go. You'll know when it's time to step it up a notch. You'll know how to pivot. All that the things that you're unclear about will now become clear to you. And so it's just so important to be intentional with the way you run your business, the way you operate your time, the way you set up your strategies. Everything matters. All strategies matter. All time management things matter because it's going to ultimately give you the best life that you deserve. So that's it. If you guys have any questions, you can definitely unmute yourself. And I'll make sure that you guys get a copy of the time management course as well. The course itself has a 45-minute tutorial video that I walked you through doing it. So it's kind of like the same thing, but it was like 3 years ago. but I'll make sure you guys all have access to the time management course for your own needs. But if you guys have any questions, I'm definitely here to answer them for you.
I got a question. It's Bruce Hill, New Skills, New You. So I love the idea of having everything a designated time block, but how do we stay organized and flexible?
So to stay organized and flexible, number one, organize with your brain dumps and your to-do list. So that's what's going to keep you organized. Keeping you flexible is one of two things. You could give yourself green time, which means you can give yourself, like, let's say, for example, if your day is set up to be from, let's say 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., you can give yourself an extra hour either before the day or after the day, meaning that if you overstep time, if you need to handle something, whatever the case may be, you have green time at the beginning of your day or at your end of your day, so that if you run over a meeting unintentionally or something like that, you can grab time out of that time bank. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so like if you, instead of setting up like just an 8-hour workday, set up a 9-hour workday. And if you don't end up using that time, that extra hour in the beginning of the day or the end of the day, it doesn't matter. So typically you would use that time in the beginning of the day. If the day before you had a task that you couldn't complete, you then add that to your next day. So when we set up our time blocks and stuff, we're not running time into and over. You're stopping your task where it's at. Like, that's why you have to be very intentional about the time that you're setting for the task. So don't overbid on time so that you have all this extra time left over, and don't underbid so that you're not completing task in the time that it needs to be done. That's why it's really important to be realistic about the goals that you set and the time that you're giving yourself to complete them, if that makes sense.
I see we have a question from Chris. Rich before 50. You got your hand up, Chris? You got a question? Because if not, I got a question.
Yeah, I had a question. I mean, I came on the call a little late. I apologize. I mean, but the presentation was extremely dope and helpful. I think my question may be for you offline in regards to your cleaning business, or you having the cleaning business. My wife also has a cleaning business and have secured a couple contracts, and so I think my conversation is probably offline because it's not related to the presentation.
Yeah, shoot me a DM. I am Michelle Welch, and we can have a conversation.
All good, got you.
So I have a question, Michelle. So I know you didn't mention it, but you mentioned it earlier today. Today's your anniversary, right?
Oh yes.
So that was one thing I wanted you to touch on. 5 years of 100% entrepreneurship. That's major. Super kudos to you there. I will be there one day.
It took me a long, it was not easy to get here. But yes, it wasn't easy. I woke up this day 5 years ago and I looked at my mom and I said, excuse my French, fuck that job. I'm not going back. I can't do this. I can't be away from my kids anymore. I'm sick of it. And I made $17,000 in 90 days cleaning houses by myself, 2 to 3 houses a day. I did what I needed to do to set myself up to where I could then hire a team. And it's been lit ever since, but it was really, really hard to get to this point. But to say, like, I just hit 5 years in business in May, and this is my 5-year anniversary from being fully 100% away from, I've not received another check from another person, like me working for them, aside from them writing it to my business. Like, that's crazy.
Major kudos. So my question would be kind of piggybacking off of that.
Yeah.
So I juggle between my 9 to 5 and also, working with Black Business Click. Obviously my wife, we do it together. How would you, I guess, kind of do your time blocks when you're juggling a 9 to 5 and also entrepreneurship?
So sacrifice. That's number one word. You're going to sacrifice. Number 2 is going to be, so let's say, for example, if you have your 9 to 5, from 9 to 5, you're working, you need to figure out, are you going to be able to hold up 2 to 3 hours in the morning or 2 to 3 hours at night? Like, what does that look like? Where are you more capable of giving your best work, either before you go to work or after you go to work? And then if you have a job that allows you a little bit more flexibility to where you can kind of work at work on your work, then you fit certain things into those times where, like, let's say, for example, you worked at a call center. And because back in 2015 is when I had the original idea of my cleaning company. And I was building the business while I was working at the call center. And I remember that in between calls, I would be Googling like how to start a cleaning business. Like I found notes and stuff from 2015. And so I always kind of worked in between because I would be like, F that job anyway. Like if they fire me, I'll go get another one. So I would always just find time slots there. But primarily the bulk of my time, I would always do 2 hours in the morning. I'll wake up probably 3 hours before my shift. And I would work 2 hours in deep work. And then when I would come home, I would probably work 4 to 5 hours of intentional. I got to create content. I got to do these things. I got to do that. And that was after I hung out with the kids after I got home from work. So my days were literally like 5 a.m. to like sometimes midnight. And when I say sacrifice, you guys hear me preaching about, you gotta rest is a requirement, not a reward. But there's also gonna be a season or a time where like you gotta go and you gotta create and you gotta build. And one thing I strongly remember 5 years ago was that I understood the concept, like you had to rest, but my soul wouldn't let me. Like I knew I had a mission. Like I knew that check wasn't coming every Friday anymore. Like I knew it had to be different. So for me, it was like nothing to have that hustle mentality. But when I switched that hustle mentality from trying to be the best cleaner to trying to be a good cleaning business owner, that's when the game changed for me. That's when I became more organized. That's when I was like, you know what? I got to slow up. I got to slow up so I can get back on track to where I need to be. So I say all that to say, like, you either need to schedule it before time, after time, or if there's time in between your day, like where you could fit your not so high priority tasks, like urgent, but not like super necessary to do like during your focused hours, do that at work or during your work schedule. But you're going to have to see if your work schedule is to start at 9, you need to be waking up probably like at 6 and getting some stuff done, getting things, but don't just be waking up at 6 just to be waking up at 6. You need to have like tasks and things that you need to get done, because if that's the case, then you might as well stay sleeping. So if you're going to wake up earlier, make sure that either the night before you're setting yourself up for like 3 or 4 tasks that you can break down 25-minute increments during that 2-hour time frame before your shift, get those things done and out the way, so that evening, any task you have to work on are lower priority tasks, things that, you've worked the whole day, you don't want to strain yourself too much, but I'd rather you give 150 to your business and give 80 to the job than try to sit there and give 50 to the business and give 120 to the job. Like that's not what we're doing. So make sure that if you're going to do in the beginning of the day, you set your high priority tasks, but even if you work better at the end of your day and, after you sit down, eat dinner and you're more focused, you're more relaxed, whatever works best for you, but schedule that time and at that time to be more intentional.
Thank you. Powerful. Ooh, any more questions? All right. Well, Miss Michelle Welch, thank you so much for your time.
Of course.
Thank you so much for sharing and blessing the family. You know how much we appreciate it. Whenever we get an opportunity just to chat, it's always major. It's always damn near life changing, with the information that you give. So thank you again. Thank you for the family for showing up.
And also, just to put it out there, since Coach Bruce is a part of the mastermind, Coach, if we want to give them access to the mastermind on Wednesday when we do that Canva training, when I do the Canva training, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Canva. If you need more help with learning how to create better content that converts, I'm holding a training in our mastermind group on Wednesday morning at 11 to teach everyone kind of like how to navigate through Canva, how you can create reels, commercials, all that stuff in Canva. So I definitely want to invite you guys to that, because when you know how to create content, and I can just on Wednesday, you guys can see how much everything that I create on my page, if you go follow me on Instagram, all of the graphics, all that stuff I create myself, because I love creating. I'm a creative person and I love color and I love making things like girly and for me and the way I like it. So I'm going to teach you guys how to do a lot of really, really cool things. So Wednesday, I would love to give you the invite. I think you have the code. So if you want to share it with them, that's perfectly fine. But I need to get you guys a time management course as well. So I can get that information over to you. And I'll also give you the I have a 30-page productivity workbook. You guys can actually print it out, and it has so much value for you guys to be able to get on top of your goals and all of that good stuff. There's just so much in there. And as always, if you guys need any help or anything like that, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm here to see you guys win. I have some of the best plays right now going around. Like, it's really, really that important. So definitely reach out to me if you guys need my help. I am Michelle Welch on Instagram, Michelle Welch on Facebook, and _ Coach Michelle on Twitter. But I love you guys. Thank you for your time. And I had a ball. I love teaching and I love being in here. If I could ask for one thing though, can y'all shout me out and tell me how amazing this was? That's all I asked for, and tag me in it. But other than that, just let me know you guys enjoyed it and you learned something, and apply it. Start tomorrow. Start right now. Get it done. And I promise it's going to change your life, because if you can master your minutes, you can master millions.
Let's get it, everybody. If you haven't already, drop a heart, drop a 1, drop a thank you in that chat. Michelle, you know I'm gonna post something tomorrow, first thing, just so people look. If you missed it, you missed it. You had to be there. You just had to be there. But thank you so much, literally, for everything. I'm gonna put this on our YouTube channel, unlisted, you know, so it's for the family. But again, I appreciate the time. Bruce, thank you for chiming in. Welcome to the family. Y'all get ready, because Bruce is gonna put something together too and bless the family. So we're gonna get the date in mind. Right. I'm like, y'all gotta be ready for that one too. So thanks everybody. I know it's getting late. I appreciate the time.
Thank you guys.
Whatever
again.
you guys need from us, let us know. Y'all have a good night. Peace. Love y'all. Out.